Yeah. Well, since our last interview, I interviewed Daniel Green, who was one of the two men convicted of killing Michael Jordan's father.
Mm.
Stupidest story I've ever heard. Stupidest, most tragic, unnecessary.
How did you interview him?
He's doing life in prison. Someone connected me to a sister, who then connected me to him, and we conducted the interview because this is coming off. I'd actually been holding on to this interview since The Last Dance actually ended, but because of George Floyd, I said, okay, this is not the right time to put out a story about a black man killing another black man. Let me just hold on to this for a while, and then we released it a few weeks ago.
So one of the guys that killed Michael Jordan's father was black?
Yes.
I thought they were. Oh. No, I'm thinking of Cosby's son.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of them was black, one of them was white.
Never knew about the black one.
Yeah, Daniel Green. The story he told was that the white guy killed Jordan's father, but he helped get rid of the body. He helped hide the body. The other guy, Larry, said we were together and Daniel was the trigger man.
Were they just trying to rob him and they did because he was asleep in the car or something, right?
That's the story. That Jordan's father pulled over in North Carolina, fell, to take a nap in the car, but where he was taking a nap was down the street from one of those, kind of like seedy motels where, the prostitutes hang out and the drug deals get done and everything else.
Yeah, I know about those hotels.
You go to those?
I know about that.
Every so often. And we're not going to know what happened because there's only two witnesses. But it sounded like a robbery.
So they didn't know who he was.
They didn't know who he was.
Right.
But let me tell you what happened.
They fucked up, boy.
And you could watch this on the Vlad TV podcast, listen to it on the podcast or watch it on the YouTube channel. The whole interview's up now. They go and they take his red Lexus and they go and dump the body in a swamp somewhere. And then for the next week, these two kids who are 18 years old who live in trailer homes drive around in his car, make 40 phone calls from the car phone to their friends and family. And then, to really put the stupid cherry on top, Daniel Green makes a music video in his house wearing Jordan's championship ring and watch. And raps about, you'll get two in the head. Life in prison for both of them. And after The Last Dance started, they put him in cell 23. Jordan's number.
Mm-mm.
And I really put this out there because there was always even in The Last Dance, they were talking about, it was because of Jordan's gambling. It was retaliation for Jordan's gambling. The mafia did it, and so forth. Mafia had nothing to do with this. It was two stupid teenagers who were broke, who I think tried to do a robbery that turned into a murder. And it just destroyed.
Terrible way to lose a parent.
A horrible way to lose a parent. And Jordan and his dad were super close.
Oh, I know. And I saw The Last Dance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan stopped playing, right? After that. He retired. He started playing baseball.
His father had been at every game.
Yeah.
And for every championship and was there.
Yeah.
And then they showed the first game he played when he came back. The first game he played since his father's.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Yeah. Also rest in peace, John Lewis. He died recently.
Yes.
A giant in civil rights.
Civil rights, yeah.
Yeah. Marched with Martin Luther King.
Ever since I've been young, I knew about him.
Yeah. They just did a movie on him, too. The Washington Redskins are changing their name. And the current working name is Washington Football Team. I swear on this.
That sounds like some Trump shit.
Like, we can't use that racist name anymore.
Right, we can't say nothing no more. Just call them the damn football team.
Washington Football Team.
I thought there was supposed to be some kind of generals or the Washington Generals or Washington some shit. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I always thought the Redskins was a racist title.
Well,
A
I
racist
didn't,
name.
but I wasn't thinking in those terms at that time. Well, they're certainly moving quick on that. Well, then what they gonna do about our shit?
Yeah.
They changed the name of the football team. They want to keep everybody happy. But in the meantime, we still getting killed like flies. Choked out still. They haven't even stopped with the chokehold.
Yep.
Still throwing people to the ground, still cracking people's heads open, still shooting women and men, white and black, old and young. It's a power trip and I just can't see not having compassion like that or insensitivity. That's why Nick said some of what he said.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of frustration. I get it. And the police have been really abusing their power from the very beginning. Like, I actually looked it up. New York passed a law which allowed you to actually see the pensions of certain of police officers who retire. There's this one cop who's getting $500,000 a year. These cops will have $100,000 salaries and do overtime, quote unquote, which probably just means they're on call, right? Probably means they're just sleeping at home, and if they get a call, they'll get it, but they'll count it as overtime. They'll walk away with $250,000 a year salaries. And when you say defund the police, like, that's what I think people are talking about, of like the amount of money these people get for 6 months of training and the ability to kill people and destroy people's lives
and
on top
walk
of
away.
it.
You have to train longer than that to be a hairstylist.
Exactly. You can't just do hair after 6 months. You got to spend about a year.
Hours and hours and hours.